so funny because it's my first time in my life, in all my life, that I celebrated the Woman of the Day. Because all time I consider so no nice. Have one day, kind of you is special in negative way, in this way, to have celebration. But how this time is, I consider this kind of for action. I don't consider one celebration. I think no, I'm taking one position. It's a little bit different, and I'm so happy because it's so funny and it's so nice. Because you try to construct something together, no? Isn't it only to have the man naked, or I don't know, drink beer and the wine until became drunk, because all dance all night. Okay, this one can be also enjoy. But it's here the first time in my life I had to do 50 years old, so that I celebrate, and this I think that can happen only, not only, but mainly here in the Netherlands, because the people is come from different kind of country, different kind of culture, and in Rotterdam, in a special way, is very social city. It's a city that all take on part. It's the city that the people, if you want to do something together, the other can do. And this is so amazing. And so I feel so comfortable to take one action and try, okay, I tell my point of view also, and so it's nice. Thank you. Really thank you, because gave me the opportunity also to show that I may not agree for a lot of stuff. And I don't want the whole time, listen a very no nice thing, because I had this kind of experience. I had the problem that the man come over me and touch me in my country, in Brazil, in Italy, here never, that's a deal. But I don't know, it's things that have to be part of our history, and it isn't nice. So I was all time diffident for the man also, because all time I waited that I'm waiting the second part, no? Because you don't see us kind of a person that use the brand, have some opinion, or maybe don't like my opinion, but I have one opinion, and I try to explain this, no? I'm not so stupid. No, I'm not blonde also, so that stereotype that have to be stupid, because it's that. Unfortunately, this is the stereotype in the world, so depending on where you come, you already have it. I'm a Brazilian, so I think my colleague Brazilian, where she is there?
To the toilet.
No, toilet. Can tell, so I have a lot of problem when I told that I'm a Brazilian. Because it seems that I don't know what I have, 3 legs, I don't know, it isn't comfortable, no? And you cannot be, if you're ugly, because you're ugly, if you're a little bit nice, because you're nice. So you don't have never the position that you can be yourself. And so I'm so happy, because here you don't need to dress in a fancy way, you can also be all completely dirty, no people that care, and so nice. And it's thank you for everybody, because gave me opportunity also to show this part of myself, no? Because I'm a more complex people. All us is complex people, no? And depending on the situation that you are, you can put outside yourself. And the situation you keep down, no? So I thought it's very nice. Thank you. Okay, now. This time, for 6 minutes, one target that I created, that the third week, the third Sunday per month, usually, sometimes I jump, usually you invite some people to tell about the project, the things that they're doing, and so to tell here in the house of time. This time, you, for the Woman Day, you invite 5 people, but Kike, unfortunately, is here. She told me she cannot come. She's from the gallery Iron Ramones, a friend of mine also. So it's a pity, because it would be nice also. Listen here. You have Irma, that is an architect. So you have to tell all your history. the artists and they have this together other people. There's a foundation voice, Mother Voice, yeah, Mother Voices, and the yoke that is also have one place called Les Arts in is north, no, west, west, out the west, and also can tell about her position because it's more activity for the society. I can tell in this way. And Stella, that is a teacher for the design in Utrecht, in Delft. And so it's different kind of approach, different kind of country also. It's so funny because okay, yeah, both is Dutch, and both is foreigner. You're Dutch, no?
I am.
Ah, okay, you're Dutch also. Okay, perfect. No, only to understand. Yeah, it's a secret. Okay, so the questions is for everybody. I send for them, so I hope that they get. And please, can each of you tell about your study and the professional, in sense that present yourself. This is the situation.
Shall I start?
Please.
My name is Irma. I'm also about 50 years old.
Je mag gewoon Nederlands praten hoor.
Yeah, because there are the people that isn't Dutch. This is the problem. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, okay? Is it okay? How's the situation?
I was born in Rotterdam and educated in Delft because I studied architecture at the University of Delft. And I have an office here, office in architecture, urban design and landscape. And we work not only in the Netherlands but also abroad. So I have a lot of experience working outside of the Netherlands as a woman.
Yeah.
And that was today's
Yeah,
subject.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we made some buildings also in Rotterdam. So we made a red apple with red lines. Maybe it's over there.
Okay.
And for example, the building at the Blaak, the Loins and Loef, with how do you call it? The elevation which is a bit coming out. So next to the market hall. That's more known. I was today in the quality team of Rotterdam. We judge a lot of plans, new towers in Rotterdam, about the quality and about the architecture. And yeah, we are also supervising a lot of architects in the Laurens Kwartier, for example, we are supervising. And also on the Muller Pier, also yeah, in other outskirts of Rotterdam, but also working abroad. So that means not only in the Netherlands, but also in China, Russia, in France, in a lot of countries in Europe. So I traveled a lot. I'd also like to work again in Rotterdam now. The economic crisis is a bit over, and we're starting again. Is that enough?
Yeah, you have a family, children?
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Almost forgot. I have a husband, he's also architect, and I have 3 children, a boy of 16 years old, and 2 girls, 11 and 8 years old. And they're living, I'm now living in Kralingen, but I also lived in Spangen, Essenburg, Singel, Schiedam-Stedijk, a lot of places in several parts of Rotterdam.
Okay.
So it's mother also, so.
No, it's always nice to hear stories, it's nice to meet new people, and it's really lovely to sit here with all of you who I don't share some stories. My name is Deirdre. I am half Irish and half Finnish. I was born in Finland, so in a very different context, Scandinavian context, to a feminist mother who married 3 times and did feminist street theatre in a very small hometown when I was a teenager, which was quite excruciating experience. And I left Finland when I was 17, went to study theatre in Copenhagen, and then I went to Ireland in my early 20s, and so I worked as a performer for many years. And and then I went to Ireland and became a single mother to a son in a very Catholic context. And after which I went to, I studied theatre, I studied American European film history and screenwriting, then I did my bachelor in photography, I did Masters in Fine Arts. I am now doing my PhD in Utrecht University at the Institute for Cultural Inquiry on maternal subjectivity and aesthetics. And I am a birth doula, and I am married. My husband Marcel is sitting there in the room. Support. So I am a mother. I have a foundation called Mother Voices, or M/Other Voices. And did I say I'm a birth doula? And I have 2 children, a son who will be 20 in a few months' time, and a daughter who will be 10.
Wow!
And I want to say also that a hell of a lot of my mothering I have learned from my husband Marcel, and he's a mother of an exemplary mother, and I think it is important to say, because I look at mothering as a practice. It is something you do. It is not this sort of feeling that you feel out of love. You do these things. No, it is a committed, continuous, everyday practice of caring for this other in your life who you cannot control, and you have to find ways of living together. So perhaps this is enough. Yeah.
Okay, I'm Joke. I was trained as a receptionist, as a tourist information officer, and as psychologist. And I worked in universities, high schools, but 30 years also as a self-employed researcher, writer on social issues, urban issues, social issues in cities. And besides, I live with Oudewesten. I'm active with Oudewesten. I book a lot of initiatives there. I'm editor of the Lego Journal. We made gardens there for 4 or 5 years, and now we made a playzaal that with 115 volunteers. It's only volunteer work, so it's me, but I'm there. 150? 100? Yeah. And
Borrow someone for us, please. Borrow someone. I live in a small living group. I have no children of myself, but in our house we are living children for sometimes and sometimes not. So I have lived with children. That's it. Okay. Yeah, Stella, you.
So I'm Stella, and I'm originally from Germany. I was born in Berlin, and I lived there until I was 15. Then I went to England with my family, and came back to Germany. Then went to France. Then went back to England. Then went to the US. Then went. So it was kind of on like this. And I studied product design at art school, but I'm kind of a little bit not so much of a maker or only a maker, but also really always wondering about lots of things. So that made me turn into a researcher, and I did a PhD, and then I started working at TU Delft in 2002. So I've been working there since then as a researcher and as a teacher. And I have, for my own staff, for my own practice, I've only ever done little things. So I worked in some design offices for a little while, and I did some freelance stuff together with my husband. He's an artist, so we had some fun projects, making stuff, and So that's really always been only the hobby part, and my main part has been really researcher. And so I work in Delft, and Irma knows that Delft is an amazing place, a weird place. It's a university for lots of technical topics, but also for architecture and design. And both of them are very large faculties. So we do, you deal with 150 volunteers, which I think is very impressive. But also in design, we have I teach courses with 100 students in design, which is weird. But that's how we do it, and Delft is a brilliant machine, I think. It's very well organized, very efficient. It's a machine for learning, and I think it's a very really fascinating place for me. And lots of people come there from all over the world to learn together and to do research projects together. Maybe to give just one small example of what kind of research I now do as an industrial designer. It's actually, I'm currently also involved in building-related work. That is renovation of social housing to eco-standard, so zero energy. And then what I do is kind of the part where you look at how do the people actually live in their houses. Can they use these new interfaces? How will they deal with these new interfaces? So I kind of do the communication part with the residents, together with kind of design part on how can we make those interfaces also different, so that people can actually use them, so that they can integrate them in their living practices that you mentioned. So yeah, funnily enough, I have a husband, I don't have any children, and if you hadn't said this, I wouldn't have mentioned anything about my family life. But for women, I guess it's often sort of customary to say, and I have children and stuff, so I don't.
I didn't, huh? I almost forgot.
But then I asked you, right?
I'm talking about my work. I completely forget.
Yeah, but you asked about it. So
Because it's interesting that usually for the woman is all time, is a question if you have children or don't have children. No, that the man sometimes in the work you don't ask if they have a family or girlfriend or what they have,
in the work,
but
usually
yeah.
you mention it.
Yeah, usually in the context for the woman, all time have this question. No? I don't have children also, so I'm so happy. I'm happy that the people have children, but I'm happy that they don't have children because it's my choice. I don't want any children. It's only that. But sometimes the people feel me guilty. I have to feel guilty because I don't put one children more in the world. But I am happy to see, and I really happy for who wants to do that. Because it's amazing also, but you have to be happy.
Also, this is such a good point, and I made it as a kind of a standard and part of my standard as who are you, what do you do, because I of course have worked for years as a visual and performance artist, and this, you do not say this, you say this, and you are so out, you are so dead, you are such a bad artist. You are totally, nobody will take you seriously. This is changing a lot now, but I have so many, with my friends, experiences that I have no colleagues with whom I work and exhibited. I've known them for years. And we did not know we were both had children, because we kind of do it in secret. It's our secret job, so we don't mention. And suddenly, you have a child? You have a child? So we realize,
20 years already.
and it's not, this has happened several times. So after conversations about this experience, we decided, okay, we just start inserting it. And it sounds, it feels more comfortable now to say, but it sounds difficult.
I have a 20 years old and a university in Brazil, and I was for a collector, and the collector, I'm an artist, I love what I'm doing. So, and this guy told me, the woman never I will buy one artwork, because they have the children, they left to go the art. So, okay, I left my country. Because this mentality is, I cannot manage it. I'll be completely frustrated in my life. Understand? Yeah. Okay.
Once a job because I didn't have children.
Wow.
It was a job for een sociale academie, zou ik zeggen. Social work. And it was in the begin 80s, so the feminist period. And the only reason they gave me that I didn't get the job was that I didn't have a GED. So that's because I couldn't understand the other woman. Students.
Oh my God. Okay.
Afterwards, I worked there 4 months because the other one who they had chosen couldn't come immediately. So I worked there, and then I had a small working groups with women who were all knitting, and and I had this kind of thing in my head, and give them 10 minutes, so that so what I did is say some complex words, so that they have to put down the knittings and to write. Because I knew that when I would say stop knitting because you have to do something else, I would have problems with them. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, the question is, I'm curious for if you experience problems as a woman in your career till now. The problem is kind of someone that don't give you the job for you, or kind of violence, or molesting, this kind of things. No, if you till now have some problem that you think, no, wasn't nice.
Amita. I work in men's world, so there are a lot of men working well, not in the really architecture field, but I work with developers and builders, and so there are mostly all men. Well, in my studies, I think 50% was women. But you see, these women, if they start having children, a lot of them are working part-time, which is not really, if you are getting, starting your career and become more and more important, then it's difficult to work part-time. So that's not really, but it's changing a bit. So a lot of people who work at the office, also men and women, work now 4 days a week because they have children. So that's changing, or they're studying. They do a study next to their job. So that's changing, and I never had any problems working with men. I even find it more relaxed to work with men because there are more, I don't know, women, they always quarrel, and so if I have too many women in my team, then it's also difficult. I always find it difficult because men are a bit more neutral to the jobs they're doing, and you can work far more easily with them. And by working abroad, you could imagine that I had some problems as a woman, also as a director or as doing the job. But I never had, because, for example, working in Europe is of course not a problem. I never worked in Arabic countries, which might be a problem as a woman, to have, that they accept you as a woman and as a director. But, and I worked a lot in China, which is a communist country where men and women are equal. So that was not really a problem for me, so I never experienced any problem. So that's good. Yeah, I was thinking, because I saw, of course, the questions before, and I thought, no, I didn't have any problem up to now.
Okay, nice. That's good. It's always positive.
Yeah, sorry for that.
That's good. I think it's great. I also had, the only thing, I mean, this is great, but it just goes like this in my ears when we say women always quarrel and men are always more neutral. So I think with this we are all
well, that's my experience.
Yes, but always, and each one of them, really every time, always. Yeah, this is all subjective when we are sharing our experiences. So for me also, perhaps because we are all sort of in this kind of fields where we are working for ourselves and thinking and creating, being very much part of creating our own work. So I don't know. So I'll just to my own desk. No. So at first, no. I don't have experiences where I would have problem experiences. I will tell a story because it kind of reflects a little bit that perhaps the only problem that could have been really a problem situation has been in relation to my maternity, like for you non-maternity, so there's this whole issue here already. And I go back to when I was in Ireland and my son was 2 years old, I was a single mother. I had this child and I had been offered a place to study photography. And I thought, oh, this is great, anyway, it took a while, I decided to commence this course. And after a few weeks, I realized that every morning like so many women, nothing unusual in this story, and that's why I'm telling the story. So I would take my son, bring him to the creche, go to the school, and then after a few weeks, I realized, what am I doing? I'm taking this person, putting him like in a railway station locker, going to do my thing, coming, collecting, and so it was, the circularity of labor was very daunting suddenly. So I said to the director of the course, who was a man, I said, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know if I should continue. And he said, Deirdre, you deserve to do this for you. Whatever it is that you need, come and tell me, and we'll make it happen. So from that day on, this was on the first day of bachelor's program, for 4 years, any day I felt that my son needed me, or I felt I need him, or he was a bit sick, I would bring him, and he grew up in this setting, falling asleep on everybody's coast when we had long critical afternoons discussing art, and everything, and I was supported. I was held and I was supported. I was given practical help, and it was not a problem, and there was no divisions. And another remarkable man again. Funnily enough, I'm bringing up all these men, but to make the point that we do need each other regardless. And of course, as a single mother, I didn't have money. There was nothing. There was just £1 for this and £1 for that, and that's it. So I got a hardship fund again, and the purse strings were held by this man, and he just said, no, you will get it. And so I felt again I was held and I was supported, and this allowed me to get my bachelor's degree, which means that if we now think that I would have stopped at that point, like so many artists and probably architects that you also mentioned, so many people were studying, had I not finished my degree and gotten an education and studied philosophy and cultural studies and a whole lot of skills to be in the world and read the world would have been close to me.
Yeah.
But I got to do this because I was supported in very practical ways, very simple ways, very humane ways, nothing brain science about them or nothing difficult about them. And this has meant that I could develop myself as an artist, as a thinker, and have also been able to go further, cut 20 years forward until my PhD. I've started this foundation, Mother Voices, and so the point is that if you don't include people, you lose a lot of diverse points of views, and I do believe that we all have different experiences and different opinions and ideas, and that we can all learn from. So I think, especially in terms of art, because when I then became an artist and worked as an artist, I was always the only woman who had a child. None of my peers had children. My son is now 20. And 2 years ago, my peers began having babies. So there's this whole generation gap, but they are also struggling tremendously, like we all struggled. So it's not going away. But if as long as, I believe, as long as we think that art is valuable in creating social change and representing ideologies and molding our world, then well, everybody should have an ability to develop themselves to do so, regardless if they are involved in caring for another human being. Whether this human being is a child or a dying parent or a volunteer or a student or whatever, it doesn't matter. But it's striking that because of not having so much value on care work, then you don't get to participate in it. So I would say in this way, I haven't had any bad experiences, but it was a positive experience, and it just really shows that if you don't have access, then you create.
No, it's good because in this way they don't have a sensation that the whole time is negative. Because this is my point of view also. All time the things can be also positive. No, isn't it only the relation between man and woman is negative dimension? It can be also positive. So you try to understand when it's also positive to keep inside the kind of example and use this kind of
No. I was thinking about two examples. When in the around 90, I was a lecturer in the University of Amsterdam for pedagogy, and that's 95% women students, and I had to give lectures in women's studies, and well, they didn't like that very much because they just they were of the opinion that they choose that study, all of them, except on personal choice. I said, how do you explain that almost only women are sitting here? So that was the kind of discussion I had to have with them, but sometimes I had to give lectures for 200 students. That's difficult. Well, we didn't have PowerPoints, etc. in that time. Grandmother is telling. And so that's a difficult job to talk to 200 young people. And I always had a row of fans. They were feminist or they liked my doggies. So they give me every time after a lecture advices to convince, because they said it's already a problem that you are a woman as a lecturer, because there were almost only women students, but all the lecturers were men. I was one of the few